Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi, Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Devon, Mr. Piyush Kandelwal, Mr. Nitin Soni, Mr. Royal Son. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 15th episode of our program, Antartaan Inner-Tone. Today we have two wonderful musicians, Mr. Nitin Soni, who is a musician and a singer, and also we have Mr. Royal Son, who is a musician and a singer. Both are from KwaZulu-Natal in Durban, South Africa. So what we are doing in this program, we are having two musicians where they are having a dialogue discussing the inner tone. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite Mr. Nitin Soni, musician and the singer, and Mr. Royal Son, musician and the singer, to commence their inner tone. Over to you, gentlemen.
Okay, namaskar and very good afternoon to one and all of you. Good afternoon to you, Royal.
Good afternoon, sir.
And how are you doing? All right?
Well, I'm okay. It's a beautiful day. It's a Sunday. It's a Saturday. Yeah. I was at church the whole night, so that's why I feel like it's a Sunday.
Well, I hope you're not as nervous as I am, but never mind. We'll give it our best shot. But so tell me, Royal, what is your inner tone or internal rhythm?
Oh well, thank you for the beautiful question. Okay, for me, inner tone, I describe it as a language between a heart and a mind that deliver what's inside to people, you know. Without yes, I'm a vocalist. I'm a spiritual person as well. So inner tone, I take it as that voice that speak in a heart, that speak in the mind. Whenever when I perform or when I do something, that's the voice I call it an inner tone.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's my point of view. So I can take the question back to you to understand your view.
Okay, so my view on inner tone or inner rhythm or internal rhythm as we talk about it, it's more about the inner feeling one gets when one is performing, whether you're performing at a place of worship, or whether one is performing at a wedding function, or whether it's at a function maybe where somebody has passed on. And obviously, you're going to look at the situation, what type of ambience we have around you. So obviously, if you're singing at a temple or a place of worship, it's the music that you perform will be slightly different from, say, the music that you would perform at the birthday party, for example. So that's my feel on the inner tone or inner internal rhythm. It's obviously it's as it said, it's more an internal sort of thing. So tell me, going on to the next question, how do you get it in your musical practice or performance? How do you get it?
Okay, as I've told you earlier, Guti, I'm a very spiritual person, and yeah. I listen first to the mood or environment mood, you know. Where do I perform or practice? Then I listen to the mood. That's where I can deliver what is inside in me, you know. When the spirit talks and when the spirit wants me to say something, you know, even if I sing in my performances, there are some other surprising notes that I don't even know, but I believe they come within an inner tone, you know, because there will be band, there will be instrument, we all working together, but at the same time, they follow what I am saying to people, you know? So the lead is in me, and I'm not the only one who's leading. It's the spirit, it's the inner tone in me who's leading.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Taking back to you.
Yes. Okay. So how do I get this? How do I get in your musical practice or performance? Again, very similar to what you say. I think it's more about the sense of feel you get. I mean, like, for example, if I had to be singing or performing at, let's say, a Hare Krishna temple, and you will obviously, you know that the devotees around you are probably devotees of Lord Krishna. So your bhajans that you will be singing will be more inclined towards that, because that's what they will enjoy. And the important things, I think, when you're performing is to get a sense of what the audience want. And if you know, and you can pick it up as you're singing or performing, that the audience are enjoying it. So I think that is very, very, very important. So
Yeah.
going on to question number 3, Royal, how do you feel and experience it? How do you feel and experience it when you perform?
Well, can I share a little bit of story? At first time, well, I was introduced to music professionally. I thought music is just music just for fun, you know, when you can sing. So when I was introduced professionally, I get to have that feeling that moves me inside, you know, that I don't know how to explain it, but it sometimes it feels like it's good, sometimes it's weird, scary, but it's a good feeling, because you giving it helps me to pour what I am or what I feel to people, you know, and it creates or it makes my performance looks much more better and good, because it at that time it's not even me who's performing, you know. I'm being covered by this spirit, I'm being covered by these tunes that comes from my mouth, my head, my heart, you know. It moves me, you know. So it's a very beautiful thing. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
Okay. Okay. Well, my take on this is, you know, I was very fortunate that I come from a musical family, where for my parents, from my father's side, my uncles, my grandfather were involved in music. So I guess that had to filter down a little bit. And I started my journey in music by learning tabla. And at a very, very young age, I think I was maybe around 3 or 4 years old when I started playing with, you know, in the old days, we used to get polished tin, and I used to bang on it all the time. And then my granny, my dad's mom, noticed that, you know what, he's got some flair for this instrument, so let's let him go to a teacher. And then I spent about a year, and then after that I used to play the tabla generally at religious functions, until I met my guru, who is obviously no more with us. And I studied proper classical tabla under him, so where you learn different tals in tabla, whether it's 16 beats, 7 beats, 14 beats, 10 beats, 12 beats, 6 beats, etc., etc. So I was very honored, because my guru studied in India, in Delhi. And then after a few years, I took to vocal singing as well. But, and then after the passing away of my guru, then I studied a little bit under another teacher. But unfortunately, what had happened when we started learning under him, COVID had come along. So we had to put everything on hold, but we will very soon be getting back to music. But coming back to, I think the important, how do I feel about this whole thing? I think by learning music the correct way, you enjoy what you're doing because you tend to understand it a lot more if you
Yes.
learn music the correct way. But anyway, Roy, coming back to question number 4, did you feel that you are also an instrument to feel and experience or invoke this inner tone from within, Roy?
Well, of course. Of course, yeah. I did feel that. I did feel that a lot. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Yes, no, absolutely. I know. I would say the same thing about as you said. I share the same sentiments with you. I think when you're playing, when you play an instrument, or
Yes.
whether you're playing the instrument and singing, I think it's very, very important that you understand what we say in Hindi, bhav, the feel of the song, and so it's very, and I'm sure it applies in your music as well. That if you need to understand, for you to feel that song, and you need to understand it properly. And when you understand it, you get sort of, if I can, you immersed into it, then you enjoy it even more as well. And I think it comes out in your performance as well. So if for example, if I'm singing, for example, a song in certain rag, it must, if I'm singing and I have a tabla player and a harmonium player on either side, they must also get that feel. And similarly, if I'm playing tabla and somebody else is singing, and if I know it's in a certain taal, the musicians enjoy it together. So I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this inner tone gives you a sense of assimilation, or invoke the inner tone from sorry, let me repeat this. Do you feel that this inner tone gives you a sense of assimilation, absorption into the universe energy, which is unlimited and infinite?
Yes. You know what I understand about it. Since I've said, I would say it's more of a spiritual thing, because it's something that is inside in you, you know. So it shares the energy around you, you know. It makes you connect with something that makes you connect with people. It's beautiful. It's just a connection, you know. You can't perform without having an inner tone in your heart or mind. So you can't deliver to people. You can't, you know. So when you understand music, like fully understand music and respect it, you get to be connected in, you know, in the universe, you know. So for you, sky is a limit as well. You can do anything.
Absolutely. You know, my take on this whole thing is very much similar to what you say. I think music it's such a deep, it's so deep, like an ocean, that no matter how much you try and immerse yourself into it, you realize how little you know about music. And the more you go into it, you realize, oh my God, I thought I knew this. Then you realize, no, I need to know this. I need to know this. So there's no end to learning in music. And you know, I think the other thing that is very important is, like you said, if you sort of understand the music properly, it's limitless. I mean, it works. It one leads to another thing, leads to another thing, leads to another thing. And it also allows for, what is the word I'm looking for? If I can, that you can improvise on it. And that's the beauty part about music. That if you know, if your basics are done well, if your foundation is solid, and very often in music, in Shastriya Sangeet, what we call Shastriya Sangeet, if you're playing a tabla, for example, now if you take 16 beats, you can play different variations of the 16 beats, but the foundation is there. All we do, you just expand on it and expand on it and expand on it and play different variations. but ultimately it's still within 16 beats. But for that to happen, and that even applies to vocal singing, that if you need to know, if you want to sing a specific song in a specific rag, one has to understand the basics of that rag, what the basic rag is, and then you build on it. And then a lot of your music is based on rag music today. So, Roy, Chris, what I want to ask you, do you feel that your performance is not done by you only, but something greater and bigger than you is supporting you as a power or energy when you are singing or playing an instrument?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. You know, again, to share a little story,
Sure.
I had a gig. It was my first time. It was my first gig, big gig. It was a huge gig, you know. So I got on stage, performed my first song. Well, I was scared because I didn't know how the audience will react on my music because I'm new in the industry. So on my second song, there was just like a huge power that came over me. I remember that I passed out, but I didn't stop singing. I was on the floor crying. Well, musician says I was improvising at that time. But in my view, like it was like I got out from me and stand aside and watching myself performing, you know. So in my view, I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. And after that performance, I really believed in spiritual things. So I definitely knew that there was something powerful that came over me and covered me and made me strong in that performance. From that day up until now, I make sure even I got on stage, I pray before I got on stage, because I know and I understand exactly what this is. Music is a language. You can speak your language, but I can feel your music, you know, because it's powerful. There's a sort of power in it, you know. So yeah, I really believe in that.
Yeah, you know, Royal, I'm share an experience very similar to yours. I'll never forget this. When it was on a Sunday afternoon, and the weather was quite bad. It was overcast in Pietermaritzburg, and around about 1 o'clock, 1:30, I get a phone call from my Guruji, and he asked me, he says, "So, Nitin, what are you doing? Are you at home? Are you on the road? Are you Durban?" I said, "No, Guruji, I'm at home." He says, "Listen, I'm coming to fetch you." So I said, "No problem, Guruji. Now, when your guru tells you certain things, you don't question it too much. You just follow the rules." He said, "No problem." So he picks me up after about 2 hours, and I ask him, I says, "Guruji, where are we going?" He says, "No, we are going to," he says, "Pack your tabla, we are going to escort." I said, "Okay, that's no problem." And believe you me, I did not know what he was going to sing. I didn't know anything. And he keeps, and as I was driving with him, and the weather was quite bad, and then just towards, as about approaching escort, I asked him, "Guruji, so what are you singing?" He says, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." That's all he told me. "You'll be fine." So yeah, I go to this hall with hundreds of people, and Swami Vimokshananda, who was from the Ramakrishna Center, was sitting there. So we went forward. We prostrated to Swamiji. Then we proceeded to the on the stage, and I set in my tabla up. Guruji set the harmonium up. I think we had a manjira player as well. And he looked at me. He says, "Okay, we're singing this song." And I remember he started an invocation to Lord Ganesha. Then we went on to a song dedicated to Saraswati Ma, and then there's a variety of bhajans, but very simple bhajans. But the point I'm trying to make is that energy that feeling I got when I was there, you could feel the presence of the divine. There was something different about it. And I think the bhajans that he sang, the songs that he sang, added to that. So yes, it all boils down to energy, I think, at the end of the day. And it's about understanding each other's music. So I understood him as a musician, as a tabla player, and he understood me as well. So I knew how he performs with the harmonium. I know how to play for him as a tabla player as well. So it was this lovely, as you would call it, jugalbandi. We'll talk about it, which we had, and it was a wonderful evening. I think it was one of the most memorable function I played for. I really enjoyed every bit of it.
Nice.
So yeah, so going on to the next question. Did you feel that your performance is not done only by you, but something greater and bigger than you, and is supporting you as a power or energy when you are singing or playing an instrument? Okay, we've tackled that question. Let's go on to the next question. How do you feel synchronization of the inner tone with the expectations of the audience or organizations of the event? How do you sense that?
Well, firstly, as I've said before, I got on stage, I pray, you know, I asked for a divine power from God before I got on stage. So I believe that even the name of an event tells you, Guti, why am I here? You know, so when I got on that event, firstly, I need to check or sense the environment and the mood of the audience, so that I will give you exactly what they want, you know. So
Okay.
even the organizers, like they normally scoop you with smaller information that this is this type of event, it's a Valentine's Day, so the event will be much more lovey-dovey event, you know. So when you get there, when you get there, you know, and you will be in that mood. Even if you're not in a relationship, you will in that mood, you know, you'll get in that mood, so that you will deliver exactly what people need, you know. I'm not sure whether I made you understand that, but I can take the question back to you.
Yeah, no, I hear where you come from, and I can relate to what you say. You know, I remember about 2-3 years ago. 3 years ago, it was 3 years ago exactly. The Hindi Shiksha Sangh had a bhajan program in Karvastan in Chatsworth. And Rajesh Bhai phoned me up and said, you know, they'll be having like a bhajan program, and we'd like you to come and perform. And so according to that, I prepared my program, right? And again, I realized that if I'm going to sing in this program, do I just want to sing alone, or do I want the audience to sing with me? Because when we're singing bhajans, very often you can sing certain bhajans where the singer sings it alone, or you find that the audience can sing with you as a chorus and clap hands, obviously. So I had to, when I was preparing my half, I think it was about 35-minute program, I had to, in that 35 minutes, prepare certain songs or bhajans that where I could sing, I had to sing it alone, but also get some audience to sing with me where the need arises. So I think, coming back to what you said, I think you need to understand what the organizations want you to perform, what the audience expect of you. Like you said, if you went for a Valentine's function, you're obviously going to sing songs that are love related, I could say. And the same thing, I was invited for among the Tamil community, we have the functions before the wedding, and I was invited for a function to sing. And there I had to sing against backtracks. So where there's no live instruments, it's all like whatever you're singing is against backtracks, recorded music, but you're just singing the vocal part, and the music, the background music is already pre-recorded.
No.
So that music was different from, say, for example, performing at a religious function. So we go to the next question, Royal. Did you feel sometimes a conflict between your inner tone and the outer expectations of performing or presenting? Have you ever had this experience?
I will say yes. I will say yes. Because sometimes you get to a performance excited and expecting something like from the audience, expecting a boom from the audience, only to find out you'll perform the whole session and the people will be like, okay, and on that performance you will be like, am I doing right? There's something wrong, only to find out there's nothing wrong about you. It's just that you expected too much and the environment you in, they only needed music and concentrating their things, So yeah, sometimes I do mix up things and said, I know my inner piece, my inner tone will work for me. Well, I expected like a good response to, Then, well, after the event, people will come and say, oh, wow, you sing well. Oh, wow, nice performance. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But you were not concentrating on me while I was performing, So I would say yes.
Yeah, I think that's, I've had that experience, not too many times, where when somebody invites me to sing or even perform, to play tabla, but most of the time it's more coming to the singing aspect of it. So, I've had that experience once, but then I've also learned from it, and I've turned around and I always ask those people that are inviting me, that tell me, what is the function? Is this a birthday party? They'll tell me yes. So I say, how old the person? They're going to turn 80. They'll tell me, no, the person's going to be 75, or it's going to be 70, or it's going to be 80. So I make it up what I've learned, and I'm sure you can probably apply this when you perform as well. That what do they really like? So, I remember about 3-4 years ago, I was invited for a birthday party on a Saturday afternoon. A very good friend of mine, and she invited me. She said, listen, would you come and sing for us? And it was a very intimate birthday party. So I said, whose birthday? She said, Mom's birthday. So I said, how old is Mom? She said, no, she's about 75, I think. She was about 75. I said, okay, not a problem. So what does she like? I mean, does she like any specific type of music? Or does she prefer this genre of music, this genre of music? So according to that, I prepare myself. But obviously, I also understand that not everybody is 75 years old. So there's some younger generation. So you need to cater for them. You need to cater for some more middle-aged people. And then obviously, sometimes you need to improvise on where they request and say, please sing a few lines of this or sing a few lines of this, etc., etc. So you've got to be flexible in that. I think that's important, to be flexible. I think that's very, very important. And coming to our final question, Royal. So what is your goal or aspiration to achieve internally through your journey of music? What is your goal?
Well, I can talk until the sun comes out again. But I'll say I'm working so hard to make my music journey brighter, but I trust in God that He will help me, because I'm expecting big things, huge things. New album, the journey will now be out there. Yes, there are some music that is already online, already out there, but I'm working forward to give more to people, to be connected to more audience, new people, not only in South Africa, not only in Africa, but nationally or internationally, So my goal is quite much bigger than young I am. So yeah, you can take the question to you.
Yeah, so so my goal is, as far as music is concerned, is to always try and improve yourself and get better at what you are doing. And I think also something that I think all of us should learn, no matter what art we follow, whether it's music or any other form of art, I think it's always to have this attitude of being a student, meaning that never get egoistic about what you know. I think humility is a very, very important thing in life. And I think music has taught me that a lot. I think we must always remain grounded and always look at why you're performing. Are you performing you are performing for an audience if you are performing for a function, obviously. But the ultimate aim of music is to take you closer to the Supreme Being. And I think that's what you need to work towards. That you need to ask yourself that the music that I'm performing, the music that if I'm singing or playing an instrument, is it helping me to achieve that goal of getting closer to the Supreme? And I think that should be the objective of musicians today. Yes, and most important, also enjoy it. I think that's very, very important. I think if you have the love for it, and if you have the talent for it, I think you must, in a nice way, use it. You know, again, I quote my guru, who always said that if you have the talent in music, you must use it. Otherwise, Almighty God will take it away from you. If you have the talent, use it in the right way, in the positive way, and to make a difference in this world. I think that's very important, because everything in this world is caused by sound. Everything. You know, again, I quote my guru. He says most of the problems in this world are caused by the type of music we listen to, and I stand by that. I think the type of music we listen to today has a lot to do with energies within us as well. It can give off negative energy, positive energy. If you listen to very calm music, it calms the nerves as well. It calms the soul as well. So I think it's very, very important that we listen to the right type of music as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Nitin Soni and Mr. Royal Sanino. I was listening to them, you know. So what I picked up now is that Mr. Nitin Soni and Royal Sanji, they are the spiritual persons. You know, I listened to them. I picked up that no, somewhere, somehow they are common. These are the people that believe in God. When I listen to Royal Nitin Soni, I picked up so many things from him also. You know, when you are saying that there is problems that we are facing, it is because sometimes of the music that we are listening. There is power in that, Soniji. It's very powerful. And your guru, I wish he is still alive when he's saying, if you don't use the carrier that God Almighty gave you, He will remove it from you.
You know,
what a powerful statement.
Yeah, you know, CPW, I like to say this. You know, the important thing, I like to mention that all the problems in this world, most of the problems in this world are caused by the music we listen to. And I'd like to also say that my guru always, and my guru who's is no more around now at the moment, he always sort of drummed this into us, always, that you must always have humility in you, whatever you do. Never become egoistic. Never ever think that you like the greatest, because there's always somebody out there who's far, far better than you. And I think that is very, very important.
Very, very powerful. Respect your talent.
Yes. And whatever I am, Sibiwe, I just want to say, whatever I am, whatever little music I know, and it's just, we haven't scratched the surface yet, is by the grace of my teacher, my guru, and by the grace of the divine. Otherwise, we are nothing at the end of the day.
Right. Thank you very much, sir, for those kind words. So we really enjoyed it. It was so, yes, it was a dialogue but full of spirituality. Royal Sanji, I understand also you're the God-fearing somebody, you believe in divinity. So if you continue this journey in this way, God will shower you with blessings. The sky is a limit for you. So if you can use what Nitinji is saying about the journey of life, about the journey of music, I see blessings over you. So you will shine and shine and shine, and God Almighty will be with you to this hard journey called music journey. And maybe Nitinji can tell you that the music journey is a hard journey. But wherever you're walking, when you're walking with divinity, blessings are coming to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Royal Sanji, Nitinji, Danyavad sir, thank you very much. So now we are in the next phase of this program, which is called Jugabaldi, whereby our musicians, Mr. Royalson, he will give us his music item. And as soon as he completes, Mr. Nitin Soni, he will also give us his music item. So Royal Sanji, you will start. And after that, Mr. Nitin Soni will give us his music item. So over to you, Royal Sanji.
I will give you this one. It's called Utapayane. It's in Zulu lullaby. I believe all people know it, but I rearranged it in a way that I can deliver it in my own version. So as we all know, that a rain is a blessing to everyone. So I interpret the song as a song of a prayer song, where people should call a blessing, should call a blessing in any form, you know. So Utapayane. Wazawemvula uzosithela wena ngawamaconsi abandayo qha siyawathanda thina bantwanyana uma sidlala ucapayane sithi co ucapayane sithi co ucapayane woza mvula uzosithela we ngawo amaconsi abandayo qha siyawathanda thina bantwanyana uma sidlala ucapayane. Thank you.
So once again, namaste, namaskar. This bhajan that I'm going to perform for you is based on Rag Darbari. Okay, it's a song that was originally sung by the late great Jagjit Singh, and it goes something like this. So I'm going to sing a very shortened version because of time constraints. And
right, sir.
Okay, so it goes something like this. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhav, Jai Kunj Bihari, Jai Gopi Jan Vallabh, Jai Gopi Jan Vallabh, Jai Girdhari, Jai Radha Madhav, Jai Kunj Bihari, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Jai Govardhan Dhari, Jai Radha Madhav, Jai Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhav, Jai Kunj Bihari, Yashodanandan Brij Janaranjan, 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 Jamuna Tir Vanachari, Jai Radha Madhav, Jai Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhav, Jai Kunj Bihari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nitin Soni ji, for that wonderful performance. We really enjoyed it. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Royal San ji. You know, this is a old song that you're performing this evening. It's a very old song, but it's a very nice song. It's an old song, you know, so you put it, you modernize it there and there, but it is still very, very beautiful. Thank you very much for your wonderful song that you gave us this afternoon. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Royal San and Mr. Nitin Soni for you on our episode 15 of the program, Antartaan Inner-Tone. Tone. Now we have come to the end of our program this evening. On behalf of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Devon, it gives me a great pleasure to deliver a vote of thanks on this wonderful program that we had this evening, where Mr. Royal Son and Mr. Nitin Soni were present this evening. So allow me to say thank you very much to them for this wonderful, wonderful program that we had this evening. So these two, spiritual musicians, thank you very much to both of you. To Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi, Mr. Piyush Kandelwal, thank you very much for taking part on today's program. To our online participants, we like to say thank you, Danyavad, for being with us this evening. For more information on cultural activities organized by Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, please visit ICCR in Devon. So once again, to our online guest, Mr. Royal Son, God bless you. And to Mr. Nitin Soni, thank you very much. Thank you, Danyavad, to all of you. So, and we really appreciate what you did this evening. To all of you, have a wonderful evening. Namaskar.